How do you go about building a monthly operating and financial forecast to get your aligned and committed executive team executing more efficiently? In my previous tips, Is Your Executive Team Executing Efficiently? A great book to fix execution drama, Metronomics, and How a President and Her Team Improved Execution, we discussed the four proven practices that bridge the gap between team alignment, commitment to a plan, and disciplined follow through. Working together to build a monthly operating and financial forecast is the first of those practices, which we will discuss here. A monthly operating and financial forecast is a critical execution tool that allows an executive team to regularly check if the company is on or off course for their annual plan. By breaking down and tracking actual results against the expected monthly changes in volumes, revenues, costs, and cash, your team is enabled to make frequent, necessary decisions to keep things on track. This forecast, based on your annual targets, also enables your team to validate that your initial 1 year targets are financially feasible given the plan's assumptions. A feasible plan is an executable plan. The forecast should also reflect any major planned investments, linking them to the annual priorities for change, improvement, and growth based on the company's number one addressable challenge for the year. So, how do you go about building a monthly operating and financial forecast? There are four key elements of an effective forecast. Number one, it's widget based. Two, it's structured effectively. Three, it forecasts cash. And four, it's a collaborative effort. Let's go through each one. And feel free to contact me on my website to access the monthly operating and financial forecast template I use with clients, or complete the form in this blog post. Number one, widget based. We call this a monthly operating and financial forecast because it forecasts more than just the monthly financial results. The financial projections are based on the expected monthly volume of business, which we call widgets. This is whatever unit of measure your company uses to track business flow. It might be the number of orders, customers, items, subscriptions, users, hours, square feet, etc. Whatever unit consistently drives both revenue and costs. A common but problematic approach to forecasting is to adjust last year's financial statements by a rough percentage reflecting expected growth. This is problematic because, first, it fails to reflect how volume changes impact revenues, direct costs, and indirect or overhead costs in different ways. Second, it assumes revenues and costs scale identically, potentially overlooking opportunities for efficiency as the business grows. And third, it assumes that all past costs were necessary and all current pricing is appropriate. By basing revenue and cost forecasts on the number of widgets sold, produced, delivered, and supported, and using both a price per unit and cost per unit, the forecast enables the team to easily review whether pricing and costs per unit can be improved. Number two, effective structure. A monthly operating and financial forecast should present the key monthly numbers that empower the CEO and executive team to make timely decisions to improve financial results. This requires a specific structure for the financial statements, as suggested by financial management expert Greg Crabtree, author of Simple Numbers, Straight Talk, Big Profits. In the income statement, the structure includes gross profit, calculated from revenue minus cost of goods sold, which are based on units sold, price per unit, and direct outside cost per unit. Gross profit is a key number for assessing buying effectiveness. Gross profit is more important than revenue because, aside from telling you how effective your buying is, it tells you how much money the company has to work with internally to get to its net profit. Note that the number of units, price per unit, and cost per unit are the real levers to improve gross profit. Contribution margin, calculated by subtracting direct labor, being the cost of employees who produce and or deliver the good or service, from gross profit. This is a critical number that must cover all overhead and make sufficient net profit. Direct labor is a key lever for improving profitability through optimization and increased productivity. Operating expenses, or overhead costs. For clarity and ease of consumption, roll these up into big buckets, such as facilities, marketing, management and administrative labor, payroll, taxes and benefits, and other operating expenses. Sales labor may be another important bucket for your company. The main levers here are those large cost categories, particularly management and admin labor. Net operating income, or EBITDA. Subtracting total overhead costs from the contribution margin yields net operating income, also called EBITDA, being earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization. This is the ultimate barometer of day-to-day profitability, setting aside debt servicing, taxes, and asset depreciation, which can vary widely depending on how assets and liabilities are managed. If your company has multiple products or product lines, then revenue and gross profit may need to be broken up for each, as well as direct labor and contribution margin if these vary by product or line. This structure provides the executive team with clear visibility into the key numbers and levers for financial optimization and allows for the calculation of standard ratios like gross margin, labor efficiency ratio, and expense ratio for external comparison. Number 3, forecasting cash. As Greg Crabtree famously said, revenue is vanity, profit is sanity, but cash is king. Cash is the oxygen that fuels a business. Maintaining a healthy cash balance is essential for survival and confidently making planned investments, and a clear monthly cash balance forecast verifies the true feasibility of your operating financial plan. Net operating profit is just a number on paper, but a company's actual cash situation is often very different, being heavily influenced by inventory, accounts receivable, accounts payable, and financing activities. Forecasting cash requires a keen eye on timing, the flow of sales, inventory purchases, production, delivery, and invoicing. For example, a sale might occur in month 1, production in month 2, delivery and invoicing in month 3, and payment in month 4. Understanding the timing of these outflows and inflows is crucial for maintaining a healthy cash position and finding ways to optimize cash flow by speeding up the cycle. Number 4, a collaborative effort. Many executive teams assume creating the monthly operating and financial forecast is finance and accounting's job. While they lead the process, building a realistic and useful forecast requires collaboration across the entire executive team, guided by the annual company plan. Each leader must provide inputs on how expected volumes will drive revenues and costs, and the timing of those revenues and costs on a month-by-month basis. Forecasted units impact various areas, from marketing spend to sales, production, delivery, and post-sales support, each with different timing. Only the respective leaders and their teams can provide these numbers, along with expected pricing improvements or efficiency gains aligned with the company's annual priorities. Furthermore, each area needs to plan and estimate costs for their investments in various initiatives. When starting with a CEO and executive team and having them flesh out their one-page strategic plan and annual plan, we suggest beginning with a 12-month monthly operating and financial forecast prepared annually. After this is well established, often after 1 or 2 years, we suggest progressing to a 36-month forecast prepared annually, and eventually to a 36-month rolling forecast, meaning it's updated and extended monthly. This progression builds the team's ability to confidently predict results and optimize execution to hit their 3-year targets. Ultimately, a monthly operating and financial forecast, effectively structured and built collaboratively, is an essential tool that ensures a financially feasible plan, highlights key levers for performance improvement, and allows the executive team to track execution monthly to make quick adjustments to hit their targets. Want a head start in building a monthly operating and financial forecast to improve your executive team's execution? If so, contact me on my website to get my complimentary forecast template, or complete the form in this blog post. If you're a Prairie CEO who wants to grow a thriving company, team, and life more quickly, more easily, with less stress and headache, please contact me via email or on my website. I hope you found this useful.